Welcome to another edition of Selling Life and Annuities. I'm Tim Luby. I'm the National Sales Director of Annuities here at Gordon Marketing. And with me today is Paul Bechtold, our Regional Vice President of Debt Elimination Programs at Gordon. And our topic today is, what's wrong with most clients' current debt elimination and financial plans? So Paul, I know for this topic today that you have, 6 points or so that you would like to cover to sort of address this subject. So with that, I see one of the first ones is that many programs kill the interest generation programs with spending and saving from the same account. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Let's use this cup as an example of somebody's investment account, bank account, whatever we want to do. Okay, so what most people do is, let's just use your bank account as an example. We get our paycheck, we come home, we deposit it in the bank account. And when we deposit money in the bank account, what happens to the account balance? It goes up, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then what they do is they pay all their bills. They pay for their groceries and their mortgage and their gasoline and their utilities and whatever else, their auto loan, whatever. And then the account balance goes down, right? So every time it goes up, we're going to earn more interest because we have a larger volume of money. And every time it goes down, we're going to kill our interest generation capacity. Okay. The first thing I want to do is I want to show people how to create an account that only goes up. I'm going to do that by adding another account. And I'm going to do that through dividend paying whole life insurance. Okay. The insurance has nothing to do with the death benefit. What it has is to do something with is the cash leverage that we can create using that product.
Interesting.
Okay.
So you talked a little bit specifically about the products that you're going to use. So how do you leverage like the interest cost versus the cost versus the gains on the interest side?
Okay, well that's where the Equity Excel software comes in. Okay, what the Equity Excel software does for us is we gather a little bit of financial information from our clients and we input it into the software, and what the software will show is what the effective interest rate is. Okay, and in many instances, between the mortgage, the auto loan, the credit cards, the student loans, all of that, we see effective interest rates of 75, 60, 50, 40, 30, 25% interest rates, right? And so people are trying to save over here and get 10% on their growth in their money when they got a big hole in their boat over here and they're trying to pump more water into it, right? Okay, yeah. Let's plug the hole up first over here where we're losing interest, and then concentrate later on the kind of interest gains we're making. So the interest losses are far outweighing the gains. We're going upside down every year that we do that.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about the effective interest rate, the gains, and so on. What about the guarantees as it relates to the interest rates?
Well, that's another thing. Most people, as soon as you start talking to them about their financial plan, getting out of debt and this, that, and the other, the rate of return conversation comes up. And they feel like that they can grow their money better and they can get a better rate of return and all that. The problem is most people are using products that are variable in nature, right? They are not guaranteed, okay? And most people's financial plans have little to no guarantees involved in them, okay? We want to use dividend paying whole life insurance to show people how to eliminate their debt and free up their cash flow because it has guarantees. So I'm putting them in a position of guarantees first before I do anything else.
Right. So you talked about the variables. You talked about the whole life as a solution to help with that. But are you able to neutralize all of the variables?
Well, there are variables that are outside people's control. Specifically, when we're in variable products in the market, for example, when a market goes up or down, do you have any control over that? No, you deal with that every day, right, Tim? Even in an index product where you have a zero floor and maybe a cap or even uncapped strategy, you still can never tell your client whether they're going to have a gain in their policy or they're going to have a 0 year, right? You don't have any control over that. You also don't have any control over whether tax rates go up, down, or sideways, right?
Yes.
And do you have any control over the interest environment as well? No. Okay. Would you have ever thought 3 years ago that you would see the kind of rise in interest rates that we've seen over the last couple of years?
No.
Right? Yeah. So we don't have control over those variables. I want to show clients how to neutralize variables outside of their control so that it doesn't control the outcome of their plan.
Right. So you're closing in on a lot of ways to improve them, to reduce theirs. Is there a way that you can guarantee success?
Absolutely. We like to say that we show clients how to win the game before they play. And the other thing is, I want to make sure that every contingency is covered should the unexpected happen. Unexpected death, somebody gets sick, maybe somebody loses their job, okay, or between jobs. There's financial circumstances that happens to everybody in their lifetime, and we want to make sure that we cover all contingencies.
Right. Wow, and it really does sound like you're covering them on so many fronts. So a little bit about the process that you use to get there.
Well, the first thing is you nailed the proper word, and that is we don't sell products to people. We show people a process to begin earning interest on all the money that's coming into their economy and how to efficiently eliminate their debt, free up their cash flow, and build liquid wealth into the future. And it's just that it's a process. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a lifestyle change that shows people how to always be earning interest on their money and how to have their money working for them, not the banks and their creditors.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds good. And I know your program is very tight and holds together very well. I'm often reminded of just how comprehensive it is. I'm really impressed with that. With that, we're kind of running out of time. Our time is winding down. So for the benefit of those watching today, how do they plug into your help with these programs?
Well, yeah, they can send an email to paul@gordonmarketing.com. They can also reach me at 317-626-3054. 24/7 kind of guy. And I got to tell you, Tim, we've had a lot of excitement and a lot of interest lately in the debt elimination space, and we'll love to help get people started and get their clients down a better path very soon.
Great. All right. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, and as we're winding things down, one last thing, if you would please make sure to like the video here, comment if you would, please share it. We would appreciate that, and subscribe to the channel. And importantly, click the notification bell below so that you will be notified anytime a new Selling Life and Annuity video comes out. So with that, thank you so much for your time and attention. Thanks, Paul, for the great information that you shared with us today, and happy selling.